Have you ever stopped to think that everything you learned about dinosaurs might be wrong? That's right, those giant, scaly, slow-moving beasts Hollywood sold us might never have existed that way. In fact, they were adaptable, clever creatures, and believe it or not, some even had colorful feathers. Now, picture a showdown, Jurassic versus Cretaceous, two eras separated by millions of years, yet marked by dramatic changes that determined who would survive and who would become a fossil. We're not just talking about size or strength. This was a survival game where climate, plants, and even the skies played their part. And here's the most surprising part. The deadliest weapons weren't always claws or teeth. Sometimes it was a simple shift in global temperature. Want to find out why these periods were far more complex and deadly than any movie has ever shown? Then get ready. The next lines will change everything you thought you knew about dinosaurs. Imagine a world hanging by a thread. During the Triassic, colossal volcanic eruptions tore through the Earth's crust, releasing gases on an unimaginable scale. The climate spiraled out of control, turning vast regions into scorching, dry deserts, almost stopping dinosaur evolution in its tracks. These eruptions changed everything. Oceans evaporated, acid rain fell, and only the toughest creatures managed to survive. It's mind-blowing to think that, even in this chaos, small dinosaurs still found a way to evolve. If you think a heatwave today is brutal, multiply that by 1,000. The Jurassic brought hope, but not without challenges. Dense forests and warmer seas set the stage for new giants. Herbivores like Brachiosaurus emerged, and with them, even deadlier predators. This dance of life shows how climate dictated every step of history. And just when everything seemed balanced, the Cretaceous prepared its final move: global instability and, in the end, a fatal impact. The mass extinction of dinosaurs wasn't just the work of an asteroid. Climate change was already eroding the balance. It was Earth deciding who stayed and who disappeared. Now imagine living on that wild planet. While we struggle with global warming, they faced a world that could change radically in just a few millennia. And that brings us to a fascinating question. Which era was truly deadlier, the Jurassic or the Cretaceous? Here's the showdown everyone wants to see: Jurassic versus Cretaceous. These dinosaur periods defined to very different ages. The Jurassic spanned from 201 to 145 million years ago, while the Cretaceous lasted from 145 to 66 million years ago. Each produced iconic monsters, but which was more dangerous? In the Jurassic, giants like Brachiosaurus ruled, along with cunning predators like Allosaurus. The Cretaceous unleashed lethal innovation, the T-Rex. This era was marked by stronger predators, armored herbivores, and refined survival strategies. Picture facing a pack of velociraptors in ecosystems even more complex and diverse than those of the Jurassic. During the Jurassic, lush forests and stable temperatures dominated a perfect stage for colossal herbivores. The Cretaceous, however, exploded with diversity: arid plains, coastal regions, and dense forests. This environmental shift accelerated dinosaur evolution and raised the survival stakes for every species. And which of these periods would be a nightmare for us? In the Jurassic, hunters like Allosaurus were relentless. But in the Cretaceous, nature raised the stakes with smarter predators, razor-sharp claws, and an incredible ability to adapt. It was literally a game of life or death. So, which era was deadlier? It depends. Would you rather face the brute force of an Allosaurus in the Jurassic or the cunning of raptors in the Cretaceous? Hold on to that thought, because now we're diving into something even more intense: 24 hours in the world of dinosaurs. Would you survive? Imagine waking up in the Triassic with an Eoraptor lurking in the shadows. It looks small, but don't be fooled: agile, fast, and hungry. Every step echoes through a primitive forest, where survival depends on pure instinct. Fast forward to the Jurassic. Now you're standing before a Brachiosaurus. Its neck towers into the treetops, ripping leaves as if they were toys. The ground shakes beneath your feet, and a chill runs down your spine as you pray no predator is nearby. Suddenly, the scene shifts to the Cretaceous. Here, the ultimate king makes his entrance, the T-Rex. He doesn't need to run much. One bite with 12,000 pounds of force is enough to crush any resistance. It's the pure essence of mass extinction dinosaurs, ready to strike. And it's not just the giants that terrify. Velociraptors hunt in packs, using almost military-like tactics. They seem to know your next move before you even make it. That level of intelligence is a clear reflection of dinosaur evolution at its most ruthless. Now think, would you survive this journey? Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, each era brought a deadly challenge. But the question remains, how did these animals actually behave? How did they hunt, care for their young, and master survival strategies? When we talk about behavior, many picture dinosaurs as mere killing machines. But the truth is, dinosaur evolution went beyond brute strength. It brought intelligence, cooperation, and even parental care. That's right, some of them were devoted parents. In the Jurassic, evidence suggests that species like Allosaurus hunted in packs, coordinating attacks with surprising precision. By the Cretaceous, Velociraptors took this to another level, developing complex strategies to take down prey much larger than themselves. And it wasn't just the hunters, herbivores had their own tricks. Dinosaurs like Maiasaura, for instance, cared for their nests, protecting hatchlings from predators. This social behavior was a game changer for species survival. Now imagine applying that today. High-performance teams, companies, even study groups could learn a lot from this collaborative logic. Nature has already shown us that collective intelligence saves lives, whether in a Cretaceous valley or a modern boardroom. Fascinating, isn't it? But hold on, the story of dinosaurs doesn't end here. Get ready to dive into one of paleontology's biggest debates. Did they really have feathers? For a long time, dinosaurs were portrayed as scaly, heavy, and dull reptiles. But science has flipped that image on its head. Recent discoveries suggest that many had feathers. Yes, feathers. A shocking revelation for anyone who grew up with the classic picture of a bare-skinned T-Rex. Fossils found in China revealed feather-like structures in species from the Cretaceous. This completely changes our understanding of dinosaur evolution, showing that some were much closer to modern birds than we ever imagined. Even the Velociraptor may have looked nothing like its Hollywood version. But why feathers? The answer goes beyond flight. They could have served for thermal insulation, display, and even camouflage. Picture a raptor flaunting vibrant colors to attract mates or intimidate rivals. The Jurassic jungle was practically a natural runway. Of course, not all dinosaurs had this trait. Giants like Brachiosaurus didn't sport feathers, but smaller species, especially from the Cretaceous, surprised scientists. This detail reinforces that Jurassic versus Cretaceous wasn't just a clash of strength, it was also a battle of adaptation and innovation. Now stop and think, if dinosaurs were already on the path to becoming birds, what would have happened if the mass extinction dinosaurs never occurred? That question takes us to one of history's greatest what-ifs. What would the world look like if they had never disappeared? Imagine waking up today and instead of seeing cars, spotting a triceratops crossing the street. Sounds crazy, but if the mass extinction dinosaurs hadn't happened, history would look very different. Human evolution might never have unfolded the way we know it. With species dominating entire continents, mammals would have had little chance to thrive. That means we probably wouldn't be here having this conversation. Dinosaur evolution could have taken an unpredictable path, creating predators even smarter and more adaptable. Now think about the ecosystems. Modern cities would need defenses against creatures weighing 20,000 pounds. Air travel, forget it. Maybe we'd be riding domesticated pterosaurs instead of airplanes. It sounds like science fiction, but it's pure speculation based on the evolutionary potential of those eras. And what about agriculture? With giant herbivores devouring entire forests, humanity would need radical strategies to protect crops. Our technology might have advanced much faster, driven by the need to survive in a world of giants. Fascinating, isn't it? But that thought leads us to another equally stunning scenario. While dinosaurs ruled the land, Who dominated the seas and skies? While dinosaurs reigned on land, the oceans were ruled by colossal predators. Picture Plesiosaurus gliding through deep waters, its long neck moving with grace. These monsters of the Triassic and Jurassic were true living legends of the seas. By the Cretaceous, the oceans became even deadlier. Enter the mosasaurs, creatures that could rival any land predator. With sleek bodies and powerful jaws, they turned the oceans into a lethal hunting ground. And in the skies, the rulers were pterosaurs. With massive wingspans and lightweight structures, they soared over Jurassic landscapes in search of prey. Some reached wingspans comparable to a small modern airplane, and awe-inspiring spectacle of dinosaur evolution. These creatures weren't just hunters, they were survival engineers. They adapted their bodies to withstand extreme conditions, proving that life always finds a way. Jurassic versus Cretaceous wasn't just a land battle. It was a showcase of dominance across every element. Now, picture this. While they soared through the skies and glided across the seas, something silent was happening in the forests. The first flowering plants emerged, radically transforming ecosystems. This shift would become a turning point for the future of life on Earth. While giant predators fought for territory, something seemingly simple was altering the planet's destiny: the first flowering plants. They appeared in the Cretaceous and, without fanfare, began reshaping entire ecosystems. Nature had just created a secret weapon for adaptation. These plants, known as angiosperms, brought unique advantages. By attracting pollinators, their flowers made plant reproduction far more efficient. The result? A dramatic increase in habitat and food diversity, directly influencing dinosaur evolution. For herbivores, it was an unprecedented feast. Species like Triceratops thrived, developing jaws capable of grinding leaves and seeds. This green explosion reshaped the food chain, creating richer and more complex ecosystems. But it wasn't just the giants that benefited. Insects, primitive birds, and small mammals found new opportunities to survive and multiply. The Cretaceous landscape became more colorful, more alive, in stark contrast to the arid world of the Triassic. This silent revolution is a reminder of how seemingly insignificant details can shape the future. A single flower paved the way for new ecological relationships and transformed life as we know it. A shift that, long ago, laid the foundation for our very existence. After this journey through time, one thing is clear: the story of dinosaurs isn't just about fossils, it's about resilience, adaptation, and reinvention. But what about you? If you lived in the Jurassic or the Cretaceous, would you survive that brutal world? Which era do you believe was deadlier? Stop and think. If nature managed to reshape life so many times, what have you done to adapt to the changes in your own world? Maybe the greatest lesson from the dinosaurs is simple: those who don't evolve disappear. If this reflection struck a chord with you, just imagine what's coming next. So don't waste time, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the next chapter will take your curiosity to a whole new level and you won't want to miss it.